the heavyweight rankings have come out, and ESPN has Deontay Wilder ranked number 1, and the fans are in the uproar as they don't think he should be ranked number 1. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So the heavyweight recent rankings have come out. The updated rankings have come out as the WBC undefeated heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder is ranked number 1 in the ESPN rankings. BoxRec has him ranked number 2. And a lot of people are just completely in the uproar over these ranking systems. Okay, BoxRec has him ranked number 2. Ring Magazine has him ranked number 2. But ESPN has him ranked number 1. And the fans are not happy about that. They don't feel like he should be ranked number 1, right? BoxRec has Andy Ruiz ranked number 1, Deontay Wilder ranked number 2, Anthony Joshua ranked 3, Tyson Fury ranked 4, Alexander Povetkin ranked at 5. Ring Magazine has Tyson Fury 1, Deontay Wilder 2, Andy Ruiz 3, Joshua 4, Dillian White number 5. ESPN has Deontay Wilder number 1, Tyson Fury 2, Andy Ruiz 3, Joshua 4, and Dillian White number 5. The WBC rankings also are posted. They have Deontay Wilder as the champion, of course, because he is. Number 1 mandatory is Dillian White. Number 2, Ortiz. Fury's 3, Brazil's 4, Parker's 5. And they're not happy about, of course, the WBC rankings and the ESPN rankings, as they cite that why is Brazil in the rankings? Why hasn't Dillian White got a chance to face Deontay Wilder? ESPN is biased because they're always biased towards American fighters, U.S. fighters, so on and so forth. And there's an absolute outrage as I read the comments in the comment section. You can find this on multiple sites, but Boxing Kingdom, you can also find it on Boxing Kingdom. Read the comments. And as you can see that there's multiple comments and nobody wants to give Deontay Wilder any credit for doing anything, as if he hasn't faced Luis Ortiz and beat him, as if he's not the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing, as if he hasn't faced Tyson Fury and fought him to a draw, dropping Tyson Fury twice in that fight, something that Vladimir Klitschko, who was on a 10-year reign as a champion, could not do. Could not lay one hand on Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder dropped him twice, but all people could cite is that he was getting outboxed in the fight, right? So nobody wants to give Deontay Wilder credit for doing anything, and at this point, it's absolutely ridiculous. To hear the fans, the disdain that people have for Deontay Wilder is like no other. You understand? I saw this. People don't remember. I saw this where Muhammad Ali went through this. Floyd Mayweather obviously went through this, and people only remember the aftermath, right? People only remember Muhammad Ali as he's perceived today. They don't remember how he was perceived in the storm, in the mix to everything, right? With that said, Floyd Mayweather is still disliked to this day, but he was given the same sort of criticism, right? Deontay Wilder, this is a little bit different, man, because it's a little extra. Every single thing, he's at top of, people have something to say about it, right? So everybody feels like he should not be number 1 in ESPN rankings because it's all totally biased, because they always lean towards U.S. fighters, which is absolutely ridiculous because he's undefeated, he's active, he's knocked down or knocked out every fighter he's ever faced. He's the most exciting fighter in the sport of boxing, hands down, bar none, period, point blank and period. He dropped Tyson Fury, he knocked out Ortiz, and he's scheduled to face Luis Ortiz in a rematch, and then go back into another rematch with Tyson Fury. He's only looked to become the best, and people blame him for wanting to be the best. But then they want to criticize other fights and say, the sport of boxing don't put on the best, but don't want to give him credit for trying to fight the best, right? But they'll praise fighters like Anthony Joshua for sidestepping Deontay Wilder and admitting that he sidestepped Deontay Wilder to face other competition because he felt he wasn't ready. Neither did his team, Eddie Hearn, and his team feel like he was ready. His trainer, Rob McCracken, they didn't feel like Anthony Joshua was ready. They used the excuse that he was still green, so on and so forth, but totally dismissed the fact that Anthony Joshua was the one who called out Deontay Wilder before Deontay Wilder called out Anthony Joshua. Once Anthony Joshua called out Deontay Wilder said, I was going to give him time to grow, but since he calling me out, let's make it happen. Why wait? Make the date. People fail to mention that. They fail to remember that. They have selective memory, point blank and period, right? So with that said, Deontay Wilder is deserving of being the #1 ranked heavyweight in the world, as he's the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing. He's dropped and knocked out every fighter he's ever faced, including Tyson Fury twice in their fight. That fight was ruled a draw due to the 2 knockdowns. That's 4 rounds right there. You find 2 other rounds, it's a draw. Not that hard to figure out that it was a draw. It's not that hard. It's not so much of a travesty to say that it was a draw, point blank and period, right? So with that said, Andy Ruiz is Johnny come lately. He's new to this game. He just beat Anthony Joshua, absolutely. Props goes out to Andy Ruiz, but nobody had Andy Ruiz ahead of Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury just 2 weeks ago. Before that fight was scheduled, everybody was had Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua ranked at the top 3. And before that fight, when the fight was announced, everybody was claiming that it was a cherry pick and how it's unbelievable Anthony Joshua's not fighting anybody worth note. And now everybody wants to cry and say that Andy Ruiz needs to be #1. When just a couple weeks ago before this fight, you didn't even know who Andy Ruiz was. Yes, he had a nice record. I thought that he beat Joseph Parker. I thought he should be undefeated. But leading up to that fight, nobody thought that Andy Ruiz was #1. Did he make his mark? Yep. Did he announce himself? Absolutely. But anybody had Andy Ruiz ranked #4, #3? No, they didn't. He wasn't even thought of, right? It was the top 3, Fury, Joshua, Wilder. Then it was Ortiz, Dillian White, Jarrell Miller, so on and so forth. Adam Kalnaki. Andy Ruiz wasn't even mentioned at that point. Okay, only hardcore boxing fans knew who he was, and nobody gave him a chance to beat Anthony Joshua. But now everybody want to cry that the ESPN is outrageous and they're biased and they're going to stick to their American fighters and things of that nature, which is totally ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Deontay Wilder would be favored to beat Andy Ruiz if they were scheduled to fight. I don't know who's going to be favored to win the fight between himself and Tyson Fury, but you could bet it'll be very, very close. And if Deontay Wilder was lined up with Anthony Joshua, he would definitely be the favorite in that fight. He's going to be the favorite against Ortiz, so I don't understand where's the misconnect here. Where's the disconnect? Where people are saying, screaming bias because Deontay Wilder is ranked #1 in ESPN rankings. Outrageous, man. The disdain for this guy who only wants to fight the best and be the best is absolutely ridiculous, and it truly becomes a black eye to the sport of boxing that people don't uplift the sport of boxing, put the sport of boxing first, and stop, for their disdain for fighters because they like other fighters. Don't put down one fighter to big up another fighter, because all you're doing is discrediting the fighter that you like. Point blank and period. But that's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. ESPN has Deontay Wilder ranked #1, and the fans are outraged. That's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love.